Well, hey there guys, AnxiousCynic back again, and as you could tell from that opening sequence, today we're going to be doing a tutorial about metamorphosis, shapeshifting, whatever you want to call it.
Whoa. Didn't I just make a tutorial about this?
SharpWind? What are you doing here?
That is not important. You are copying my video, or at least that's what your audience says when I do something like this.
Copying? No, someone asked me to do this tutorial, and I know you did yours, but...
Oh, well, I just thought, because your channel's dead.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But hey, that's fine. We both have similar tutorials, we both want to help people and give it to the community and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, besides, my tutorial is a little bit different anyway. Yours was kind of transformation. Mine's more about, metamorphosis and shape-shifting, so...
That sounds like semantics, but I get what you're saying. I should probably get going now. Good luck with the tutorial, friend!
Yeah, sure, thanks. Good luck with your channel as well.
Thanks. Sorry I can't say the same.
So, anyway, basically what I did here was have these parts spawn individually and then animate Steve's parts to do their thing and then have these parts take over. So, I'll just go over basically what I did here and then maybe we'll do one as an example and leave the rest to you guys. So, let's go ahead and bring down these keyframes here. So, as you can recall here, from the beginning, you have Steve run up, he falls down, and then his arm starts moving around and stuff. So essentially what I did here, let's go ahead and select the right arm. Basically, I just created a few keyframes here, where if you watch the scale over here, we have the individual parameters, and they're just kind of changing around, and I used the transition right there. You can use that one, or even like this one here, and it just kind of gives it a little bit more of a random, shaky kind of look. And then at this point here, you'll see where the arm kind of goes to shrinking away. And then that's when I have the mushroom limb, as I called it, pop into view. It was invisible to begin with, as you can see there. And then it comes to visible, and it has already some deformation taking place because I wanted it to kind of spring into place. And then by the time it gets to this keyframe, it's back to basically the original size of the arm. So basically, that's all you got to do, and I did it for these three limbs, and then I didn't do it for this one. So what I'm going to do is just show you from scratch here exactly how I went about doing this. So what we want to do is get the replacement for the left leg here. So I'm going to go over here, and then we're going to go to the body part here, and as you can see, it already has the mushroom front leg thing. If you don't have that, you can search for it, just type in mushroom or whatever, and it doesn't seem to matter what leg you pick because they all seem to have the same texture. But I'll just go with the one that I used originally. So we're going to create that, and then you'll see that we now have this one here, and I'm just going to, rename it leg or something, and then we're just going to parent this to the left leg of Steve, and you'll see that it pops up right there. So a couple things I want to do to set this up properly is we're going to go ahead and select the leg there, and we want it to not be on the lower half. So I'm going to deselect that, untick it, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to see which way it bends. So for the legs, it actually bends fine. For the arms, I had to rotate it 180 degrees because they're meant to bend backwards instead of forward, so I had to do that. But for this one, it works out fine. You'll just have to figure out how you want things to look, and you may not even be doing a bipedal character, so whatever works for you, you may have to rotate it, maybe not. The next thing that we need to do is turn off some of these inheritance for the parenting, because when you're messing with this, it will affect this one as well. If you're messing with the scale of the leg, then you'll see that both of them are doing that. So what we want to do is on the mushroom leg, I'm going to turn off rotation, I'm going to turn off scale, and I'm going to turn off visibility. And basically what that allows us to do is mess with the leg on Steve to animate independently without affecting the mushroom leg so that we can get the desired results. So with the mushroom leg selected, now that I turned off the rotation thing, I want to go ahead and check this. Alright, so now that it's not inheriting the rotation, it's bending the wrong way. So what we're going to do, 180 degrees, and then we're back to where we need to be. So see there? You learned something. Alright, so basically what we have here is what we want, and we want the leg to end up in this position. So what I'm going to do is move this keyframe down to, wherever we want it to be happening. And I'm going to just set an earlier keyframe and go over here invisible, so that way we don't see it until we want to. So let's go ahead and just save our progress. So now what we want to do is kind of have the leg doing the quiver thing. You know, it's about to transform. I want to transform again. Oh my goodness. So basically, we're just going to set some keyframes and just do this however we need to do it. So just going to do like that. Just do some random movements here. It really depends on how you want everything to look. And just set some random ones, and I just kind of vary it up. It doesn't matter really. It depends on how you want to do things. Just, you know, as much movement, as much craziness as you desire. And then we're just going to set our final one, and it's just going to kind of shrink away. We want to have the last one just kind of be like disappearing out of sight, more or less. And then we're going to click the visible so that Steve's original leg goes invisible. And then essentially what we end up with that is this. And it looks kind of dumb. But what we're going to do is select these, right click, or you can go over here, doesn't matter. And I'm going to put that transition on it. And as you can see there, we get that nice little kind of jerky effect. And we can, you know, spread these out or push them closer if we want things to happen a little bit faster or slower. And that looks okay. All right, so save our progress. And we may have to finagle with, you know, when this all comes into play. So I'm going to set another keyframe because this is the position we want the leg to end up in. But for the first keyframe, when it first comes in, I'm just going to kind of have it shrink up, do some weird movement to kind of just have the Steve leg visible. So essentially what that should give us is Steve's leg disappearing and then this one kind of taking its place, as you can see there. And it kind of has this like morphing effect where as Steve's leg is getting skinnier and smaller, this one's getting bigger. So it kind of gives you that idea of like, okay, this one's taking over. And of course, if we really want to spruce this up, we can have it change to a different transition. We can go, I've been using the ease in one here. Was it elastic? Ease out elastic, there we go. So what it does is give it that little boop effect like that. And then you can also change the timing here. We may want this one to appear a little bit later. Something like that. So that might work a little bit. And then the result you get is this nice little and then he's transformed into the mushroom leg. One other thing you may want to do just to make sure you don't have any issues with the body part here skewing in unwanted ways is after you have the Steve leg go invisible here, add another keyframe and just reset the scale points on that, because I didn't have it for every instance here, but for certain ones, for some reason, the scaling of the other limb, the replacement leg or whatever, was actually being affected by that. Maybe I had something here off, I'm not really sure, but if you're having any problems like that, just go ahead and reset the scale on the invisible leg, and that way you won't have to worry about any of that scaling kind of affecting your and skewing your other limb. Hopefully that makes sense. And of course, I didn't do the body or the head for this one because I thought it would be kind of funny to have those transitions taking place with just the mushrooms. And those are simple enough. All that is dang old. Let me go to the body over here. And we have, let me collapse all these. So we have these sprout mushrooms. And all those is just a little scaled down, like they're invisible at first, of course. And then when they spawn in, it's this little tiny mushroom there that I had scaled way down. And then I have the elastic ease out transition, and it just comes up to about 50% because I feel like that was about the right size for that. And I just kind of timed all those together, and then you have those pop up. And then of course the same thing for the head. This one's a bit bigger because I wanted it to look bigger. So there you go. There's a dang old effect. And now, you know, we have all four limbs doing it. I kind of feel like just showing the three would have been good enough. But, you know, I wanted to show you guys how to do it. So, you know, that's how it works out. I ain't got to tell you. So one thing you might be asking, however, is, you know, what if you want him to transform into another type of character? Like, say, a character with the spider legs or a squid, you know, things that have more than 4 limbs, or, you know, more limbs that come out in random places or whatever. And that's kind of what these mushrooms are meant to represent. You know, you can add other legs and stuff and have them sprouting out in a similar fashion, and then transition to having it, you know, be the other species of creature, mob, whatever. And of course, you may notice that in my example at the beginning, I did not show the actual transformation of him like becoming the cow like 100%. It kind of happens off screen to kind of be the butt of a joke, you know? But if you want to show like the whole transformation process, then you can basically just do this whole technique for every part. And you can even have it happen all simultaneously rather than one limb at a time or whatever you want to do. And just kind of manipulate Steve's stance and his position and all that stuff to kind of mold into the shape of that creature. And yeah, it'd be pretty much the same process, just a different way of doing it. Speaking of different processes, as you may have noticed that nice little cameo there towards the beginning, if you want to see a different take on this kind of tutorial thing, transformation effect, head on over to SharpWind's channel because he recently did a tutorial on this, and I thought it'd be fun to include him with this one and do a little joke about the rivalry of our channels. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.